stories today by our fuzzy friend, Jacob the Happy Sloth. And Jacob has brought us two stories today. Two, one, two stories today. And the first story is Pete the Cat, Scaredy Cat. Pete the Cat, Scaredy Cat is by Kimberly and James Dean. If you haven't already got comfy, my little sweethearts, I would go grab your favorite blankie and your favorite fuzzy friend because we are going to read today. R-E-A-D. And our second story is going to be This Makes Me Anxious. First day of school. So let's get started. Jacob, are you already asleep? Okay, good. There you are, Jacob. Are you ready for the first story? Yes. Jacob, have you ever been called a scaredy cat? Are you a scary cat, Jacob? Yeah, I kinda am too. Are you scared of scary stories? Maybe. Okay. Well, let's get started with our story. Okay, Jacob. Would you want to take the book first and open it for us? Pete the cat loves stories. There is Pete. He is midnight blue color with yellow eyes. And it looks like his mummy is the big cat who's got blue eyes. And the story is Meow Kitty Kitty. Pete loves funny stories. Pete loves bedtime stories. Do you love funny stories or do you prefer bedtime stories? And Pete really loves true stories. When you see the word non-fiction in a story, it means that it is a true story. Non-fiction. Because fiction means that it's not true. So non-true means that it is a true story. So it's not a fiction story. It is not a lie story. It is a true story. So this is a lie story and this is a non-fiction. So it's not a lie story. So therefore it is a true story. Be quiet in the library, please. She's talking monster even has two heads. 1, 2. How many heads do you count? And only comes out in the dark. How many teeth do you count between the two monsters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8 teeth. 8 teeth. 8 teeth. 8 teeth. So far, our buddy Pete doesn't look worried. Are you worried? Are you scared? Boo, Bob teases. Good, googly, moogly. Pete gulps. Pete is scared. When Bob's story ends, Pete is a little scared, but he says, I love that story. Have you ever been scared but been comfortable with the story? So you are okay with scary stories. That's how you know you like scary stories. Bob and Pete walk to the house. Look up, Bob tells Pete. What's up there? How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. The monster's 7 eyes are in the sky. Do you see the 7 eyes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those look like fireflies. So Bob is really just telling a scary story, and those look like fireflies. Are you scared? Are you scared? Don't be scared of fireflies. They are harmless. Pete is a little scared, but he says, those are just fireflies. I think Pete is starting to catch on, and Bob is just being a little overdramatic. These are just fireflies. Pete catches a firefly. He got one. Pete got a firefly. Isn't that awesome? Have you ever seen a firefly? They're very pretty. When they get home, something smells yummy. It's dinner time. Looks like he's having spaghetti, and meatballs. Looks yummy. Bob looks at his plate. Are those the monster's arms? Bob jokes. Are they eating monster's arms? Yum, 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 yum. Pete is a little scared, but he says, this is just spaghetti. I think Pete is starting to realize that Bob is just being a joking cat. Yum, Pete's favorite. Spaghetti. You like spaghetti? I love spaghetti. I had spaghetti for dinner today. What did you have for dinner? After dinner, Bob and Pete watch television. Look at the monster's 2 heads. Bob laughs. Bob is making heads from the 2 heads. From his paws, he's making shadows. Have you ever made a shadow, buddy? That is what Bob is doing. He's making shadows. Let's see if Pete can tell the difference. the dark, but now they are a little scared together. So now they can be scaredy cats all together. The end. Did you like that story? I'm sure you're going to join me for my first reading. I will be grabbing a first-time reader story and then engaging in a second story. uncomfortable in a situation. So pay attention to things like your chest feeling tight because it is telling you, your body is telling you it's uncomfortable. Grandma Gigi reads me a story at bedtime. Grandma is reading her story, and as you can see on her calendar, it's the last day before she has to start school. I cannot focus. My thoughts race around my head like a race car, and she just so happens to be sleeping in a race car bed. And now her thoughts are racing around like a race car. You know, those feelings that you feel when you have something going on and you're nervous and you've got a lot of thoughts in your head and you have so many thoughts you don't know how to explain it, and they are all over the place. And that is another part of your body telling you that something is uncomfortable. I am so tired, but I cannot sleep. I toss and turn. I just want to hide in a shell, like my hermit crab. Use your hermit crab. He's hiding in a shell. Have you ever wanted to run and hide in a shell, but then you are fearful of something? That is a normal feeling. If you feel tired, but you cannot sleep, and you are restless, that is a feeling of uncertain, and it means you're not comfortable enough to be certain to get good rest, because whatever is going through your mind has you thinking over and over about it. And now you cannot rest because of your racing thoughts. Next thing I know, it is morning. Mom makes me a special breakfast. So here her mom is making her a nice piece of toast with avocado and a nice egg on top. And says it helps to talk about it. See, Mom knew. I'm glad to hear that my feelings are normal. I do not feel so alone. Just keep in mind, she's got all these new people around her, right? She doesn't know them. She hasn't introduced herself yet, or they haven't introduced themselves. Yet they are all feeling the same way she is. And when you go to school or you feel anxious around new people, just know that the reason why going to school on your first day is a nervous reaction is because you're not around mommy and daddy. So it's not comfortable to you. And comfortable means a moment or a feeling of being used to something. So you're used to mommy and daddy waking up in the morning and getting you up, or you're used to mommy getting you up in the morning. This is what you're used to. You're used to mom making you breakfast or dad making you breakfast. This is comfortable because it's what you're used to. So now you have to be around new people and you're unsure. That is normal. My new teacher wants to help too. She lets me hold her hand. So now our teacher is holding her hand and saying, come on, let's start our day. Sometimes in order to get out of your moment of fear or nervousness or anxiousness, all you really need is a little bit of kindness. Because kindness will make all anxiousness and nervousness go away. So with a start of kindness, you feel a little bit more confident to do what she's doing and wave goodbye as she gets ready to start. My new classroom is sunny and colorful. My teacher helps me find my seat. So far she likes her classroom being colorful and sunny. And her teacher is being very welcoming at this point. My little sweethearts, if you are still awake at this moment, do not feel bad for ever feeling anxious. These are normal feelings. Ding, 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 goes the school bell. We all quiet down. My teacher asks if anyone is nervous, and everyone raises their hand. So say she has a classroom full of nervous kids, and she is not alone, because that feeling of being nervous is normal. And so she's not the only one experiencing it. Everyone else around her is experiencing it as well. And that makes her feel a lot more better. So you're not alone when you get nervous. We practice taking deep breaths. We count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It helps me relax. Another way to relieve this normal feeling is to breathe. Breathing causes your body to realize that it is going through another phase, and so it needs to breathe. The teacher tells us all the fun things we will do, and my anxiety turns into excitement. And just like that, her anxiety went away. It is going to be a great year. isn't in school. Maybe it's when you have to do show and tell, or when you have to walk to the principal's office, or when you have to tell the truth. Because sometimes telling the truth can be a scary thing because you don't want to make the other person upset. But that is also a normal feeling. It's best to tell the truth, even if you are anxious, even if you are fearful of what the outcome will be. So, I hope that today's story brought you relaxation, and you are nice and getting ready to cozy up. Jacob, you can take the story away now. Jacob, we have questions, and I think you might have answers. Jacob, we want to know, have you ever felt anxious? Jacob, did other people around you feel anxious? How did you know? Did someone tell you? Really? Is that a normal feeling to feel that way? Yes, that is normal. Now, when you are anxious, do you tell your friends, or do you tell mommy and daddy around you? Everyone. Good answer. Jacob, for our next story next week, I think we need another friend, don't you think? Okay, invite a friend to our next cozy corner. Okay, Jacob? Appreciate you, Jacob, for joining us today. Thank you, my sweethearts, for joining us. And me and Jacob are gonna call it a cozy night. We're gonna go lay